There we go. Hi. Hi, everybody. It's Tara Greene. I'm Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. So please say hi. I've got the comments on here now, I believe, because usually I don't see people. But anyway, so if you haven't, if you haven't been here before, I'll explain a little bit about how this, hi. Great. Okay. Hello, Vira. Great. You made it here. Okay. I just went live on Instagram and they came and hi, everybody. How are you? So I'm up here in Toronto, Canada, and welcome wherever you are. You know, there's people from all over the world who come to see this show. And if you haven't been here before, I'll explain how it works. So I will outline, hi, everybody. I'm going to outline the major planetary aspects for March, you know, as we're marching on here. And then I will pull my tarot cards. Hi, somebody from Quebec. Hi, from Brazil. First time here. Great. Welcome, Elvira. So I will pull my tarot cards. So after I go through the astrology aspects, and I'll talk about them a little bit as we go, I'm going to pull the cards for each sign. So you're going to have to be patient, okay, as I go from Aries, of course, to Pisces. So you're going to have to wait, okay? And I'll make a commentary. You know, this is live right off the top of my head here. So we're in the time of Aquarius. No, we're in the time of Pisces. You see, that's how mixed up I am. Okay. No, I'm not really. Okay. I'm thinking about Venus and Mars entering Aquarius. Okay. I'm ahead of myself here. Okay. In the tarot. Now, this is the Thoth Tarot, which is a fairly popular deck, my go-to deck that I've been using for over 30 years. Hi from Queenstown, New Zealand. Hi from Buffalo, right across the lake there in Florida, Michigan, North Carolina. Nice. Thank you. Georgia. Welcome, welcome. So we're moving from the time of Pisces, and you know, this month is going to be really interesting. I wanted to ask people how they're doing because, of course, the world news in the last week has been pretty amazing. So I'm going to remind everybody to take care of yourself and try to stay grounded. Okay, very important. Okay, so we're moving from the time of Pisces. This is the card that represents Pisces. I'm going to use mainly the 22 major arcana because these are archetypes. These are like angels helping you. That's why I like to use them. So we're moving from Pisces. I had this all set up. Okay. Into, it's going to be spring in the Northern Hemisphere here. So of course we're going to move into Aries energy. Okay. Right. All right. So, okay. So the overview, I'm kind of calling this month, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, you know, that famous quote. So it's very intense. What isn't these days? There are 2 dark moons this month. So it's, you know, they have a blue moon is when you have 2 full moons. It's only 2 dark moons, though, if you're in Pacific Standard Time, though. But still, 2 dark moons. There's that Mars-Pluto conjunction coming up. That's the heavy part. That's the worst of it. But then there's 2 really wonderful things, which is the Sun-Jupiter conjuncting and the Sun-Neptune conjoining. Okay, so that's why I'm saying best of times, worst of times. Okay, so there's a new moon. The first new moon is March the 2nd at 12 degrees of Pisces conjunct Jupiter. So if you know your astrology, what you're going to want to do is look at, you know, do I have planets conjunct to these degrees? I'm going to read out the degrees. So if you have planets conjuncting, that's the strongest aspect, or squaring, that's the next strongest in order, or opposing. Okay, that's the order. So you would look at what do you have there, planets, nodes, asteroids, the angles of your chart as well. Okay, so that's a pretty over the top, you know, Pisces, Jupiter rules Pisces in traditional astrology. So it amps up whatever sign it touches, right? So it's a great time, March the 2nd, to meditate, to get in touch with your higher guides, to work with. Jupiter represents the higher spiritual masters. So it's very, very spiritual. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Yes, tell us about it. We're in the exhausted club here. I know. Okay. The next new moon is at the end of the month, March 31st at 11 degrees of Aries. And there's a full moon at March 18th at 27 Virgo. So the number 27 is really sticking out these days. The nodes are at 27, Pluto's at 27. And of course, we just had the first Pluto return. It was the 222, 2022. I think people were expecting miracles for that. It's nice numerology and all that. But, you know, the Pluto return, that was just the first of 3. So the next one is July the 11th with Pluto retrograde, and then it's December 28th No, it's December 28th. Is it? I believe it's December 28th with Pluto going direct again, but it'll continue into 2023. Okay. So, March the 2nd, Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. The new moon is also on that day, right? March the 2nd, Mercury conjunct Saturn. So things are quite sober. Tonight, the moon conjunct Saturn in Aquarius as well. So on the 3rd, now the 3rd is Mars conjunct Pluto at that 27th degree. That's at 3:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been looking at the charts of Ukraine. Mars and Pluto are right on the Ukraine chart that I was using, right on the ascendant. Venus also conjuncts Pluto. So it's a love and war battle with Pluto. It's sort of, Mars conjunct Pluto is very, very heavy. It's one of the heaviest aspects you can go through, and it's very scorpionic, right? So, yeah, it's definitely war, and it's love, make love, not war. It's like, I think we have to focus on let's make the love, although Venus was also a warrior goddess traditionally. Okay. March the 4th, after this very intense March the 3rd, you have to fasten your seatbelts there. On March the 4th, nothing happens. There is those days where planets are taking a break. So right after that big bang, nothing. So I guess you chill out after that, after the big shock. And then March the 5th, it's like one of the best days of the year. So the Sun and Jupiter conjoin at 14 plus degrees of Pisces. So at that 15th degree, planets at the 15th degree are at their most powerful. So that's a very beautiful thing. You would call that a Jupiter Kazemi. So it's a very good day for magic, for making magic potions. It's at 6:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sending out the love. There should be definitely a worldwide meditation, which I was thinking about earlier today. There should be more, worldwide meditations going on. So that's a really beautiful thing. On the 5th, Mars enters Aquarius and then Venus enters Aquarius. So they're going to cross that, 0 degree point, which was the point that ushered in, the dawning of the age of Aquarius, when Jupiter and Saturn came together at 0 Aquarius on December the 21st, 2020. Okay. So that's a good one on the 2nd. Now, on the 9th, Mercury enters Pisces. So again, this is going to amp up the Pisces energy, and this is going to continue March and April. So again, we're going to be thinking and feeling and intuiting. And the best thing for Sun-Jupiter conjunction, and then there's going to be a big Jupiter-Neptune conjunction April the 12th. But the best thing is that suddenly everybody realizes that we're all one. Like, what are we doing? That's what I'm hoping for, Somebody said 27 is good and bad. It turns into a 9, and that's a magical number. That is true. All right. Then the Sun, on March the 13th, Sun conjuncts Neptune at 22 plus degrees of Pisces. Okay. So that's a beautiful, beautiful, again, Neptune, Kazemi. Kazemi means in the heart of the sun. So the Sun and Neptune sharing this beautiful golden glow, golden light. On March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, Mercury sextiles Uranus, which is always a little bit of an offbeat. Can be interruptions with the internet anytime you're dealing with Mercury and Uranus together. The full moon also at 27 degrees of Virgo. So it's going to be trining Pluto there. Okay, so that gives it extra oomph. On the 19th, Venus squares Uranus. So expect the unexpected in your love life, in finances. This is the other thing. That Mars, Pluto, and Venus, which rules money, could be a big world financial collapse. I mean, I really feel like they're just throwing everything into the pot here, And remember, we all signed up for this, right? Okay. So on the 20th, it is spring equinox. That is astrological New Year. Traditionally, it's called Ostara. It's at 11:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is the first day of autumn, of course, for all you down under there. On the 20th as well, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter. So that's a kind of Mercury-Jupiter Kazemi, which is also nice. Like, really, our minds are going to be really expanded, very spiritual, very dreamy. I don't know if everybody's remembering their dreams. You should really be paying attention to your dreams right now, because that while Jupiter is in Pisces, and I realize it's only about 10 weeks or so away till Jupiter enters Aries, which is like a total shift, in that energy. We go from being kind of like all passive and dreamy and compassionate and in the fog, and then wham, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that goes when Jupiter's out of the gate, and that's talk about the warrior. New initiatives. All right. So then on the 21st, Mars sextiles Chiron and Aries. So working with Chiron is good to work with your wounds, to take off your armor, to build intimacy, right? So the warrior and the wounded warrior actually are supporting each other. So that's going to be an interesting energy to work with too. I always recommend that you do work with the planetary energies, you draw them down, you do rituals, you talk to them, just like the ancients did. They talked to the planets as gods and goddesses, and they are real living energies and entities, right? Okay. March 22nd, Mars in Aquarius square Uranus. And so that's, again, could be very chaotic in the world markets, internet stuff, Bitcoin, if people are into Bitcoin, crypto, all of those kinds of things. On the 23rd, Mercury conjuncts Neptune. So there's a lot of planets conjoining Neptune. So again, it can be this really beautiful at the highest level, but it could also be total deceptive and biological warfare and, I don't know, debt, again, banking. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, tradition, in modern astrology. So, it could go a myriad of ways, right? And we're praying for the best, so we want to focus on that. Mercury conjunct Neptune, focus on, the world becoming this beautiful, blissful. So we're in the oneness. It's at 23 plus degrees of Pisces on March 23rd. On the 26th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. Again, our minds can get in touch with what our soul is. Pluto is the lord of death and rebirth and transformation, but he's also the lord of wealth. So, if you're having a Pluto transit, and, you usually will only get a major Pluto transit once in your lifetime, the question is always asked is, what did my soul really come here to do? Okay. All right. So Mercury enters Aries on March 27th. So again, that's going to sort of be a mark. Mercury's going ahead, of course, to kind of look around in Aries. So that's new beginning, new action in our minds. The house is on fire. We got to move. March 28th, Venus conjunct Saturn at 21 degrees Aquarius. That's a very sobering, solid, long-term commitment in Aquarius. If you're going to build a new relationship, a new business, relationships with elders, take yourself seriously, responsibility, and that also can be restrictions in crypto because Saturn in Aquarius again rules crypto. Okay. And it could be good. Saturn's not all bad. Okay. Again, on the 31st, new moon, 11 degrees of Aries, and it's on April 1st, April Fool's Day for everybody else that's not in Pacific Standard Time. So April Fool's Day, new moon, 11 degrees of Aries. Okay. All right. So people are asking me questions here. Hello from January 13th. Capricorn, hi. What is the best day for a double moon child born in the year of the dragon? Okay. Yeah, my specialty is not Chinese astrology, actually, but double moon child. Do you mean your sun and your moon are in the same sign? Is that what you mean by that? I'm also everybody who's born on a new moon have that. Okay, so then I'm virtually smudging everybody here. Okay, smudging everybody, cleaning the air. I will smudge my cards too. And I use a special Herkimer diamond, my special crystal that I use to cleanse the cards. So we're going to do that. So, all right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my crystal, cleanse my cards. I'm thinking about Aries, okay? So Aries people, so what's coming up for you in March? Okay, now you're ruled by Mars, of course. So that Mars-Pluto conjunction is going to impact you very strongly. All right, so, okay. So you get this card here. This is the number 14. If you work with a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, then, you will know this as Temperance, okay? So this card here represents alchemy, which is the combining of the opposites, the masculine and the feminine. I know people don't like to use those words these days. They're complementary polarities, positive, negative, the positive and negative forces, negative not being bad, just the opposite, right? So working that magic Aries, okay, so you're the ones in a way who can change this from being a very destructive thing maybe to an alchemical transformation. Everything has, both polarities. That's the whole point, right? So art, this is called art literally. So Temperance, the middle way, okay? So Mars, Pluto coming together, there could be a middle way that they could work together to tear things down and to build them up again. This is also called the sacred marriage card. It is kind of a higher octave of the lovers in the tarot. So again, look at balancing. It's the inner marriage, balancing your inner intuition, the receptive energy with the outward actions. Okay. And again, that's what the Buddha taught, you know, the middle pillar. If you work with Kabbalah, it's the middle pillar on the tree of life, right? So you have the touch of turning lead into gold, which in lead is Saturn and gold is the sun. So, you know, work that magic, Aries. Okay. Don't go into the lower level of Mars, Pluto. You know, we don't want more war. You want to find some peace. And this is a very high level card about peace. Okay. So Aries. All right. So again, if you're a sun Aries, the moon's in Aries, your nodes are in Aries, anything else in Aries, you would want to use that card. So as I go along here, you can keep track. Okay. All right. Okay. Somebody says their birthday is March 21st. Okay. So Taurus. Okay. Okay. Taurus. Okay. Now I use this deck. This is a larger deck that I use, and it's a you know, kind of one that I use for this kind of thing. This is a very special card, okay? There's only one card like this in the deck, and it is called, if you know about the Tree of Life, there are 10 spheres on the Tree of Life. This is the 11th one, you know, 1111, the master number. So this is the invisible sphere. I like to call this the calling card from your holy guardian angel, which is what the whole point of the tarot is all about. So Taurus, you get this card. So Taurus is very earthy, very embodied, you know, it rules the throat chakra. So Taurus, you need to stay very grounded. You know, you need to connect with your higher self. Okay. That's what this is all about. So, you know, very sensuously, very powerfully, very grounded, like hold your ground and speak your truth. Okay. So anybody, Taurus, sun, moon, ascendant, whatever you have in Taurus, this is connect with your holy guardian angel through this card. Okay. And all you have to do is ask. You know, people go, you know, I tell people, you know, there's fixed stars in astrology and they are connected to certain angels, the 4 major archangels. And I tell people, you know, all you have to do is ask those angels. That's their job. Okay. So Taurus energy. Okay. It's called Da'at in Hebrew. Okay. Special card. So I would dream about it and ask about it. And what does this mean? And where is my holy guardian angel? And how do I connect with them? Using, again, that listen to your body. The body never lies, you know, you just ask. So if you meditate, North Node and Taurus there, meditate and ask, you know, how do I feel where my connection is to my holy guardian angel? You know, how do I speak with it? Somebody was mentioning something to me about Yogananda. And at the back of the head here, there's the medulla oblongata, and he called it the mouth of God. And actually, that would be a kind of energy, you know, it connects, I believe, to the pineal gland in the center of your brain there. And I would really connect with this right at the top of your spine there, where the brain stem is, to your pineal gland and with your throat chakra, and see what happens there. Okay, that's coming to me all very intuitively. All right, so Gemini. Let's see what Geminis have got here. All right. Okay, Geminis, you're the devils. Okay. So, all right. So Gemini. All right. So, you know, Geminis tend to play devil's advocate. Okay. So maybe Geminis, you have to kind of look at that. You know, is that really getting me where I need to go? You know what I mean? I mean, the devil is a very complex card, often misunderstood. You know, the Catholic Church created this devil, right, which is traditionally the god Pan. You know, he's the green man. He's the lover, the consort of the great goddess. You know, in paganism, right? So he's like on May the 1st. You know, he's the horny devil god, right? So Gemini could be very sexual, very intense. Also about career because it's Capricorn. Your long-term plans. Where are you going? It's also about projection. This card. So you want to ask yourself, am I playing roles, you know, that other people are projecting onto me? And I have to take back my own projections on other people, you know, friends, relations, family. So this is a very complicated card. So maybe Gemini, you have to kind of sit back and kind of take stock, you know. The devil is very physical. It's practical. It's like, where am I going long term? It's, you know, in a way it's maturity. But the devil is also, you know, seduction, right? So where am I getting caught in that devil's bargain? You know, am I selling my soul to the devil? Am I being true to myself? You know, I mean, that could be, we could talk about Pluto and Capricorn as being associated with this too. It would be interesting. We'd have a whole talk about that. So Gemini, decide, to work on your shadows. That's the devil, the shadows, and we all have them. So instead of playing games with it, maybe you better look at some stuff that you don't want to deal with, that you need to take responsibility for. Okay. It's all good. Okay. All right. So Cancer. Oh, Cancer gets the Lovers here. Okay. So the Lovers and the Devil, they are two sides of the same coin. The Devil is 15 and the Lovers is 6. And of course, this year, 2022, reduces to the number 6. So really, this is supposed to be a year where we're deciding, because the Lovers is Gemini, do we want peace? Do we want war? Do we want love? Do we want hate? What do we want? And again, that polarity is so intense. I think that it's really hard because everybody's kind of being forced or coerced to battle the other side. And we have to realize, again, we're all one. Okay, these are just manifestations of the other side. So again, finding that love, finding that balance, finding that center, just sending love to everybody. You can't fight the devil by fighting with them. You have to send them love. Do you know what I mean? You can give them boundaries. You can keep people who are trying to trip you up out of your life, but you can also send them love so they can transform. And loving our own shadows, okay? And loving ourselves as being imperfect as well. So this, for Cancer, can be taking refuge with, again, your family, your loved ones, friends. If you've had difficulty with family members, these days, your friends, whoever supports you, who understands you, who loves you unconditionally and accepts you, though that is your family. That's those you love. Okay. All right. Okay, Cancer. All right, Leo. All right, so Leo. Let's see, I gotta put my glasses on to read this now. Somebody said, could it also be about spiritual gateway opening, Gemini? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're at Leo. Okay, so Leo, you get the Magician here. So the number 1 card. Yeah, Leos always like to be number 1 in a way, right? They always like to be on center stage. So the Magician, this is Mercury. So really, when that Mercury-Sun conjunction happens, because Leo is ruled by the Sun, Mercury conjunct Neptune, Mercury conjunct Jupiter. So Sun conjunct Neptune. Okay, Mercury is in Pisces. So it's going to shift, from Aquarius into Pisces. So really do notice that shift. Okay. Mercury enters Aries March 27th. All right, so Leo. So you have to be the initiator of new ideas, new thoughts, new communications. Okay, basically that's what Mercury is all about. So the magic wand, this is what I was just talking about. Magic wand is our minds for everybody, but especially for Leo. The message for this month is to really use your powers, your charisma as a communicator, as somebody who focuses on the intention you want to see. And again, Mercury is a dual-natured symbol. So again, working with the rational and the intuitive side, right? So juggling lots of new ideas can be very creative for you, Leo. Can be new people coming into your life, new people you're meeting on the internet, socially, all of that stuff. Okay. All right, so now we get to Virgo. Okay, so Virgo. You get the Chariot, the number 7 here. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, nodes, anything else in Virgo, you get the Chariot. So this is like the sign of Cancer. So Virgos, you need to protect yourself. I would say with, Jupiter opposite your sign, of course, and all the planets going to start to pile up opposite you. You might be feeling really pulled or unseated or not. So this is, you have to feel like you're emotionally in the driver's seat. It's Cancer energy. So there can be issues with family. I mean, maybe you need to get away from your family. Maybe you need to get in the car and drive away from them. Maybe it's about moving your home because it's Cancer, or maybe it's wherever you are is home. So, I don't usually interpret that card this way. It's interesting as getting on the road. It is a getting on the road card. It's also can be a victory lap, Virgo. So whatever it is you're happy about or proud about. And it's also about paying attention to your emotional body overall. So Virgo, I know you're very conscientious about your health, what you eat, your diet, but there's also the emotional body, which is really the one that's running the show. So you need to, it's Cancer. You can see the wheel in the card is really the universe centering on what you're feeling. Okay. I mean, you're always going to be thinking first, but what am I feeling? And going through a lot of ups and downs, especially, it's Neptune energy here, so it's like, okay, it's like a big dream, I don't really know, nothing's solid. So you're getting pulled out of your, solid core kind of hold on reality to kind of being pulled into the dream, which is good. That will also balance you out. Can be very fertile, also, this card, Virgo, because it's Cancer, relates to children or nurturing or midwifing or anything like that, working with children. Yeah, so just remember, you are in the driver's seat. You are in control of what you react to, okay, emotionally. That's true for all of us, but for Virgo, that's the message this month. All right. Okay, so Libra. All right, so Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. You get the number 5 card here, which is the Hierophant or the High Priest or the Pope, traditionally. Got different names. Okay, so Libra, again, this is like Taurus energy. So get out of your head, get into your body. Okay, everybody's got a body, no matter what sign they are. All right, so Libra, again, speaking your truth. Now, it's interesting because this is Isis, the goddess Isis in Egypt. She's, another form of Venus. Venus, has thousands of different manifestations. So for Libra and Taurus, you're both ruled by Venus. So this would be bringing out your more sensuous side, the part where you say no, the part where you have boundaries, the part where you stand your ground, the part where you are connected to your own higher self. It may be good because Libras tend to get a little bit too much, what do you think? That kind of thing, kind of giving their power away too much, right? Or worrying about what everybody thinks because they want to be seen as nice, socially acceptable, right? So this is where you get stronger, you get grounded, you can respect everybody else's opinions, but you go, you know what? This is what I need. This is what my body says. This is what I need. Okay. So again, that solid core, I'm not budging, you know what I mean? Energy, which I think is really good for Libra, right? Because, we're all in this together, of course. We're all kind of overwhelmed by what's going on, right? So this can be a really good card. Again, you can see the priest is wearing the pentagram symbol of Venus. She makes the 5-pointed star in her 8-year journey. Yuli and I were just talking about when Russian last invaded Ukraine. It was 8 years ago, so that's a Venus cycle. Okay, so Taurus can be also issues about money, Libra. Maybe you have to watch your spending. I am kind of encouraging everybody to watch their spending, and the world is very shaky, and most people are predicting a big financial crash. So you may want to, cut your credit cards and make sure you've got things that are solid to hold on to, or hardcore assets that are useful. All right. So Scorpio. Okay, so we all know the South Node is in Scorpio. It was also at 27 degrees. All right, this is a minor card. Now, I leave this one in the card just as kind of a nice little surprise here. So Scorpio, you get the wishing card. So this is very nice. This is the 9 of Cups. It is Jupiter in Pisces, by the way. So again, the 9 of Cups is what we're going through. You could think about this while Jupiter is in Pisces here. And, I'm acting as everybody's fairy godmother, and I'm saying you have 9 wishes now. Because it's Pisces, it's about doing for others. It's about how I can contribute to the greater whole. It's like, well, those people in Ukraine right now, for example, they need help. What can I do? What can I give? What can I support energetically? Can I raise money? Can I do something, right? Or whatever. There's a million causes that need your help in the world. And also forgiveness, a sense of really flowing. For Scorpio, this is really important. I have a Scorpio rising, and it's very hard for Scorpios to let go. We know that Scorpios are obsessive. We love those Scorpios, but it's really hard for them to let go. And this is the cleansing. Jupiter in Pisces, cleansing. Just let it wash away. There's times when we cannot carry the same old stuff around anymore, and that's what the South Node in Jupiter South Node in Scorpio is all about. And Jupiter is trining it. So again, Scorpio, you want to let go, let go, let go. And feel happiness, feel fulfilled. This is 9 of Cups. What fills my 9 cups up? 9, again, that magic number that somebody mentioned. So it's a completion. Again, Pisces is the sign of completion. It's the sign of endings. So I would really take this sign, Scorpio, or anybody who has Scorpio, and everybody has Scorpio somewhere, even if you don't have any planets there. If you know your chart, you look at, is it happening in my 1st house? Is this happening in my 8th house? Is it happening in my 10th house? Am I really fulfilled in the affairs ruled by that house, for example, in my relationships, in my work, in my whatever it is, okay? And really paying attention to your dreams as well, Scorpio, okay? The dreams, incubate your dreams before you go to bed at night, ask specific questions, and you have to keep working on it. There is a dream yoga And it's a discipline, so you have to keep at that, and I hope everybody's paying attention to the dream. So 9 of Cups for Scorpio. Okay. All right. So the more we can let go of the past, the better for everybody. Okay. All right. So Sag. All right. You get the Aeon card here, number 20. So this card is usually called Judgment. And, in some ways I'm going, oh yeah, I can see how people who are, into the Bible thing think about, it is Armageddon and, what's next. And so the number 20, traditionally Judgment Day, is when the Archangel Gabriel, who is at 3 degrees of Pisces in tropical astrology, blows the trumpet on Judgment Day. So Sagittarius, where are you unfairly judging yourself or other people? This is a card of rebirth. Ultimately, there's 3 that they call maternal letter cards in the tarot. This is one of them. So it is a rebirth. So it can be very fertile. It can be literally a pregnancy. It can be giving birth to something that you've been wanting to let go of. It's a sense of really, with Jupiter and Pisces, Jupiter and Pisces, there's a lot of guilt that people carry. And this could be letting go of all the guilt, okay, all the guilt that you're carrying around unnecessarily. So you might want to look at Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart. Am I carrying guilt unconsciously that's holding me back from birthing? A lot of people are going, we're birthing this new world. And it's looking very chaotic right now because the old world is dying. So how am I supporting or inspiring? It's Sagittarius, remember. How am I being optimistic no matter how dark and dire and crazy things look? I have to find some humor. My Sagittarius job is to inspire, to teach, to keep people optimistic, to ask the big questions. I'm a double Sag. And to, really inspire people. Sagittarius is really the cheerleaders of the zodiac. So, you can look at things honestly and truthfully and speak your truth. You got to be careful not to preach, of course, too much or be hypocritical, but also inspire people. So it's important to see the bigger view. Sagittarius is spiritual law as opposed to man-made law. Okay, so you want to call on Jupiter actually to bring in that higher law, spiritual law. Call on the higher master teachers to come and intervene here, which I have been doing actually. Okay, so Sagittarius, you get the rebirth card. The rebirth on all levels. Okay, all right. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius here. Okay, Aquarius, you get that Tower. Okay, very interesting now. This card here, the number 16, the Tower is, of course, like literally when 9/11 happened. I've told this story before. When 9/11 happened, and with all due respect for all the innocent people that died there, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we talked about how America was going through this card, literally living through the Tower of destruction, right? And it was Saturn opposite Pluto, Saturn and Gemini opposite Pluto and Sag. So, sometimes when you do astrology, the symbols are so literal, just like, people think tarot cards are literal too, but in astrology, it can be very literal. So this is for Aquarius, a big explosion, a big epiphany, a big realization, like, oh my God, maybe the way I thought it was, my own self, what it's all about is like, my mind is blown. Okay, and it's Mars energy. You can see it's Mars on there. So further amps up that Mars energy. Okay, the destruction, Mars-Pluto destruction. But it's destruction of what is false. It is destruction of the ego, traditionally. So, the tarot cards describe the soul's journey from entering as a soul into the earth plane as the Fool, 0, and taking the 22 stages right through. Here's what your soul's going to need to go through till you finish the physical journey at 21, and then you get to go on again at 22, which is the Fool as the enlightened being, going round and round and round, right? Okay. So Aquarius, opening your third eye. In a sense, it could be seen as your third eye, opening up, what is my truth? What is my real self? I heard the most amazing Alan Watts quote earlier today, and just kind of blew my mind. So Aquarius, maybe there's another level, like an X-ray vision level. That's Mars, you know what I mean? That you can see through things, like getting that laser-like, it's Mars, Scorpio, laser-like vision, because that Mars-Pluto conjunction is really Scorpio. It's really like, okay, I can see what's really going on. Okay, so it can be very shocking. Things could be falling apart in your life. Saturn And then, Venus and Mars are going to enter Aquarius, which is not a bad thing. This is the second conjunction they're making, which is quite rare for them to have two meetings in 1 year. So look at, now there's also a dove, right? So this card is really the message about, are you going to be the hawk or are you going to be the dove? Okay, because there is the dove of peace. You can see that, or there's the snake. Sorry, there's the dove right there. Whoops. And there's the snake on the other side, right? Snake, kind of Scorpio energy, chthonic or unconscious energy. So yeah, you have to decide, right? Which side are you on, right? So, I would say it's about awakening to bringing peace, and destroying what is false. Okay. All right. So Pisces. This feels really intense tonight, I have to say. Okay, Pisces, you get the Emperor here. So you are the king. Pisces is king right now. Aries in this, the Emperor, the king, the leader, the boss. So Pisces, you get to be the boss. It is taking action, again, with the Sun, Jupiter, and the Sun, Neptune conjunction. Pisces, you have to master or be responsible or be in the hot seat. Also it's the number 4. So it is about power, the power of Pisces as a receptive, intuitive, creative, initiatory, powerful energy. Ultimately we all come from Pisces. We're going to return to Pisces. It's the end and the beginning again. So it's the number 4. So the number 4 is always about working with the 4 elements. So Pisces, if you're feeling awash, and I would think that everybody who has Pisces planets or nodes or whatever, it can't help but feeling overwhelmed by all the emotional stuff going on. Okay, my North Node is in Pisces. So, it's a sense of balance, it's a sense of grounding, it's a sense of building a foundation. I'm trying to say cosmic intelligence thing, so I got that last month's too. Must be Jupiter. Okay. All right, that's Yulia there. So the Emperor, power, empowerment, I have the force. May the force be with me. That's the king, the Emperor, and new beginnings, definitely new beginnings. So as something comes to a close, you also are starting to create or manifest. So it would be very interesting when Jupiter enters Aries. I would say that's also a sign, like maybe you got to think ahead about that. Where's my power? Where am I going to put my energy? It's life force. Where am I putting my life force energy? And I'm willing to go into battle. There's spiritual warriors. I remember one of my spiritual teachers, Stuart Wilde, and one of my shamanic teachers, they were saying, there's shamans who battle all the evil forces all the time, right? It's always going on. It's always a big war, So Pisces, you have to realize your power to go to war at, things that are out of balance, things that are negative, standing up for what you believe in, assuming your own power, your own sovereignty. It's very important that everybody assumes their own sovereignty and they choose what they want. Again, it's boundaries. The 4s are boundaries. Okay. All right. Well, this always seems to go way too fast from my end. So I want to thank you all. So thank you, Yulia, for mentioning we got that Pisces got that too. So yes, subscribe please to Cosmic Intelligence Agency, become a member. There's lots of wonderful astrologers doing live workshops, and also their new magazine, Time Lords, is out. And also they're advertising March the 6th, Electional Astrology with Wade Caves, a wonderful astrologer. So go to their website. I am also doing a workshop this weekend myself for that Mars-Venus conjunction. I kind of kept rescheduling it, but if you're interested in that, you go to my website, taratarot.com, or you find it on my blog, and so you can sign up for that. And I'm going to be working with all this energy too. So I want to send you much love and many blessings until next time. Okay. Blessings to you all. Okay. Take care.